Greetings to all of you on this special day, as this day is very significant in the history of my country. In the year 1950, India declared herself to be a republic. Although I am a very bad mathematician, to my calculation, it is supposed to be the 70th Republic Day of India. If I'm not wrong, my Australian friends also celebrated their Australia Day on this special day, of course, according to their calendar, which means again on the 26th of January of the year 2019. But before I extend my most cordial, respectful, and of course sincere greetings to all my friends and all the friends of my country, I also crave leave to extend my most heartfelt and humble condolence to the people of Brazil, many of whom have been seriously affected by the floods caused by the breaking of a dam. Listening to the news, I understood some 300 people were still missing and many were already dead. It is indeed a very grievous and sad occasion, especially in the light of the fact that those who are bereft are still mourning. Such a news indeed marred any spirit of celebration on my part. Indeed, this was Shabbat according to Jewish calendar, and therefore I would not have left home today. But even sitting in my own house and celebrating would be inappropriate in the light of the fact that so many people have been suffering in the world. I spoke time and time again on the catastrophic situation in a country like Yemen, where people are starving to death, people including babies, young children, the elderly and the infirm. I also heard the sad news of a boy's death in Spain who fell through a hole or into a ditch a while ago, and the body was discovered. It may be a single life, but that great loss is a great loss for the kin and the loved ones of that young person. So it is also for millions of others who are suffering even to death, even at this very moment, while I address you, my most beloved and respected friends. From my childhood, I was taught to share what I had. It might have been a bag of biscuits, a cake, a dinner. But also, I had to learn from my childhood to share the grief of others. My parents are no longer alive, but I remain grateful to them for teaching me to share with others what I have and share their pains and grief as if they were my own. Well, now returning to our Independence Day, I crave leave to add that to the best of my knowledge and understanding, The word republic is derived from regi or reg publica. My apologies for my mispronunciation or even misconception of Latin. My knowledge of Latin is extremely limited, but it's only my conclusion reading other expressions in Latin. In other words, peoples rule. But can we truly say that people are ruling in the world when there is so much injustice on the part of the majority of the people? Can we say that people are ruling or reigning when majority of the people are suffering? Can we say it is people's rule when majority of the people of this world are endangered even of starvation today? I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling the truth. 3/4 of the people's population, if not more, are seriously endangered by famine, by various other catastrophic disasters, natural disasters, even to the ones to which we, as human beings, have contributed. A large population in the whole animal kingdom, which include our dearly loved pets and various other animals in the world, are endangered due to the pollution caused by us. Are we justified in destroying those lives? Shooting might have been forbidden in many countries in order to enjoy sporting activities, killing animals. But those animals and of their kind are equally endangered by the pollution caused by us human beings. Greenhouse gases, I regret to admit, is produced in our country not less than perhaps comparing to 3/4 of the countries of the world. Alas, I belong to that country too. I have no regrets belonging to that country. On the contrary, I honor and regard my country, especially its constitution, which came into existence, which was promulgated also only 2 months prior to the first Republic Day, which means on the 26th of November of the year 1949. But we have a responsibility towards the rest of the world. India has one of the largest population along with its largest democracy in the world. India is one of the most strongest, I beg your pardon, I mean one of the most strong or the strongest powers in the world as far as military power is concerned. We have developed technology far ahead of many countries of the world. Computer science has reached its peak, that India was able to send spacecrafts even to the red planet by its computer technology. But is that all? Do we not owe responsibility towards our current fellow citizens of the world? Do we not owe responsibility towards the other species of animal kingdom of the world? If that were so, I would deeply sigh, I would regret, and in that case, I would have to even apologize for being born on this earth. We have a common responsibility We need to protect our own citizens, but also our fellow citizens of the world, against catastrophic situations caused by us. We have a responsibility to ensure that all of our fellow citizens are truly free in an independent India, since India became a totally independent country by law as early as in the year 1947, or precisely on the 15th of August of the year 1947. But being Indians, we have common responsibility towards our neighbors, towards the neighbors in the larger world. We cannot sit back and say, it is all the same to us what happens in the rest of the world. We belong to a world community. We are one of the founding members of the United Nations organizations. Therefore, we owe allegiance even to the very charter of the United Nations organizations. We owe allegiance to all the countries, to all the signatories of the same charter. We owe allegiance to the countries of our own continent, Asia. We owe allegiance to all the other members of the Commonwealth. We owe allegiance to ourselves, our own neighbors. We cannot be proud of being a citizen. I beg your pardon, I mean we cannot be proud of being citizens of a country where still our fellow men and countrymen suffer, where too many of our fellow men and countrymen and women go to bed hungry, where too many children are still being exploited, who are even sold out into illegal slavery. We cannot be proud of being citizens of a country if we close our eyes and go to bed, go to bed and close our eyes without thinking what is happening in other parts of our country, let alone the world as a whole. We have to act. We must act. It is already too late not to act. There are chances, there are hopes, there are future incidences and future possibilities for the generations to come. If we act now, it will be too late if we did not act. If we sat back and ignored the circumstantial incidences and facts which had been occurring even at this very moment. We need to fight against illegal trades like slavery, especially child slavery. We need to fight against poaching, an illegal trade, selling of parts of animals by destroying them. We need to fight against injustice in our own country and elsewhere in the world. We need to fight against corruption, especially bribery, in our country and elsewhere in the world. Being legitimate members of the United Nations organizations, we have a duty to act. If we do not act, we fail in our duty. We fail to prove ourselves to be worthy citizens of this country. We failed to regard the Constitution of this country and the Charter of the United Nations organizations Thus we feel to prove ourselves to be worthy citizens of a country of reputation. I thank my fellow citizens and I thank all of my fellow citizens most respectfully and pray most humbly. I also thank all the citizens of the world whom I consider to be my fellow citizens for coming forward to act in a united front against all kinds of injustice, oppression, illegal slavery, especially human trafficking, against all kinds of perils which endanger our world, even the animal kingdom as a whole. Thank you once again. God bless. Jai Hind.